Hey everybody, this is John Marucci. We're coming to you live from Yankee Springs State Recreational Area in Gun Lake, Michigan. And we're going to talk about the top 5 tips for using your R-Pod wet bath shower. So we got 5 really good things to talk about using a wet bath shower and the best ways to do it. So here we go. Okay, so the first tip is to open your fan vent. Now you don't want to turn the fan vent on when you're using the wet bath shower, but you just want to open it so that the steam can get out of the room there while you're taking the shower. If you turn it on and close the curtain, what will likely happen is it'll close the room up on you as the curtain kind of moves toward you, and it'll make the space even smaller than it already is. So tip number 1, step 1, open the fan vent, don't turn it on. So step number 2 for using the wet bath shower in the R-Pod is this little sink. Now what we do first is we just close the sink off, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to turn the water on and get the right temperature, both hot and cold. So we've already assumed you're turning the hot water heater on, and then what you do is you get the water as hot as you want. First thing you do, now notice I'm collecting the water in the basin here. Okay, so I got it where I want it. Then I'm going to pull the top up. Okay, step number 2, get the water's right temperature, and then pull the shower stopper up. Okay, so the next step is actually taking the shower. So we're talking about taking a Navy type shower, which means you're going to rinse off with water, then you're going to lather up, then you're going to rinse off again. And while you're lathering up, you're going to turn this off. And one of the nice things about these, and most of the showers for RVs are going to have something like this, it's kind of an off switch at the head. So when you actually turn the water on, the last step we talked about getting the water the right temperature into the sink basin. So once you do that, right, we're going to do that. Once you get it where you want it, you're going to pull the lever up, right, and the water's going to come out of the shower head. And you notice what I'm doing is I'm letting the water go into the basin because I'm going to use that later to rinse off with, okay? So now let's say I rinsed off. Now notice what I'm doing. I'm just letting the shower head sit over the basin of the sink, right? Give it a little slack and let it sink over. So what's going to happen there is that the water's going to drip into the sink while you're lathering up, and then you lather up. You're not wasting any water, and that's really the key here, especially if you're dry camping. You don't want to waste any water. So you lathered up, you're ready to rinse off again, right? Okay, then you rinse off. Okay, do your final rinse. Okay, you're done. You can turn the water off. And the nice thing is here, right? The nice thing is here, now you have a sink really kind of filled with nice water. All right, so with kind of warm water that you can continue to use. So that's the deal with that. And the next step we're going to talk about using a small cup. Okay, so step number 4 is a nice little cup like this works wonders in a wet bath shower, because the prior steps, you notice getting the water temperature right. We put water in the sink, stop the sink up, put water in the sink, got the right temperature. When we're using the shower, we drapes the shower head over the sink to get any extra water. So we have about if you come a little closer, you can see we have about 3/4 of the sink full of warm water now. So if I want to do any other rinsing, I can just take the cup of water and splash it, like on my shoulders or head or whatever, and get any extra soap off without having to use too much water out of the shower head, which is coming out of the freshwater tank. So especially if you're dry camping, it'll save a lot of water doing that. So a nice little cup like this or anything that size works really well for doing kind of a wet bath, rinse off procedure with the cup. So that's the 4th tip on using the wet bath shower. Okay, and so the final tip, which may seem semi-obvious, is actually how to dry off in a small little wet bath like this after you take a shower. So, we've used little water while we've done this by making sure we use the sink appropriately. We have a little cup to wipe off with. We make sure the water soaks down into the sink basin so we can reuse the water and not waste too much. And then I really like using these little hand towels, right? They're not terribly small, right? So it's probably, a foot wide by about 18 inches to 2 feet wide. So my point is, you don't want to use a full bath sheet in here because you're going to be kind of hampered in drying after you take a shower. But these hand towels come in really handy as far as being able to dry off in the wet bath and have really, a good amount of towel to be able to dry off with, and yet not, kind of cramp your style in there since it's a small space. The other thing I like about them is they're not very heavy, so you can hang them up on the command strip hooks, right, and let them dry off right in the in the wet bath shower, they'll just drip dry into the plastic, so no problems there. You don't have to hang them out outside, and they're not too heavy to put any stress on the command strip. So nice little last tip, fifth and final tip as far as using the wet bath shower is the handy little hand towels. Okay, so to wrap up the top 5 ways to use the wet bath shower in the R-Pod is number 1, remember to leave the vent open, but don't turn the fan on. Remember, if you turn the fan on, the shower curtain may kind of crowd the room a little bit on you. The second one is to fill the sink up, stop it up, and fill the sink up when you're getting your water temperature right. So you're going to have leave a little bit of water in the sink to use later to rinse off with. The third one is to use the shower head when after you rinse off the first time. Stop the water at the shower head, let the shower head drapes over into the sink, and let it drip into the sink while you're lathering up. After you rinse off, then use the little cup that we talked about, the fourth tip, that you can use. Now you have about 3/4 of the basin of the sink filled with water. You can use that to rinse off some and save some water. And the fifth and final one is the hand towel. The small hand towel is probably better than a full bath sheet to dry off with. Pretty absorbent. You don't need a whole lot of bath sheet in this small space to dry off with. So those are the top 5 ways or tips to use the wet bath shower. Hopefully that helps. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe. Again, this is John Marucci, and have a great day.